Well, the original idea was something called A Stitch in Time. It was basically a story about a man called someone Richard or something, I can't remember his name, who wakes up in the middle of a field and there he has a letter addressed to him, and he meets a mysterious woman called Rachel, wasn't it? And that just basically leads him on to a much bigger world that involves him going back in time and saving himself or something like that. And there's also these mysterious people called the Shadows.
I really liked A Stitch in Time, and I was really disappointed that we couldn't do it. I like the idea of the letter and him having to save himself.
We couldn't do that idea because of the actors. We tried to get into actors. We got a lot of interest, around about 85, 84. We got it down to 8.
I don't think you see that often. It's normally if they're saving someone from the past, it ends up being parents. So I think it was quite an original idea from Dan.
Thank you. But we got the final 8 got down. Once we sent out invitation for them to come to audition, everyone just said no, we can't make it. But there's only like I think 2 out of the 8 said they wanted to do it. And basically, the day I realised we probably had to abandon it was probably the 23rd of November. Ironically, the day we set for audition days. And the genesis of the idea came about because I've been watching Being Human season 1, and as a character, as a ghost, I thought let's do slightly do a drama about a ghost, or do a drama about a vampire who's not killed anyone he's gone cold turkey, he hasn't killed anyone, or doing a drama about a werewolf. So then we decided it'd be more practical to do a ghost, and I thought let's do about 2 ghosts, and that's basically how the story came about.
For the college, I'd done some acting as a judge, and I'd done that, I think it was about a couple of days before we discovered that we were going to be acting in Lost Souls, and I'd really enjoyed getting into being a different character, and I was really looking forward to being Stan, someone a bit different.
To be honest, writing the script, we just used a lot of the locations we were going to use for the previous story, Stitch in Time, but we decided to use the library over there. I don't think we were going to use it for the other one, were we? Stitch in Time? No, we weren't. So we decided to use the main location over there for 2 main dialogue scenes in there. The writing of it, I think it took me about, perhaps less than a week, I can't remember, and I don't think we didn't do it, I did a second draft or anything like that. So the script that was done actually was the script that we actually shot. But we maybe, during the filming of it, changed some of the lines, improvised, and that's basically it.
I really liked Ubdoxy because while it was cold to shoot, the location looks stunning on camera, the ice in the background. The water that's behind us on screen isn't normally there. It had flooded. We had a bit of a crisis with that because the week before we were due to film, there was tons of rain, and I went up there a couple of days earlier and it was underwater, and it was crisis point. We were discussing backup plans and what we'd do if we couldn't film there, but luckily the water went down quite soon in the next 2 days or so after I did the recce, and it turned out all right. There was just that bit of water in the background which actually made it look nice because of the ice that had frozen over the top. So I think that was my favourite location, really.
Probably my favourite one's got to be Under the Bridge. I just love it there. I think possibly we could use that again on another story of this. And my least favourite, well, probably for filming wise, is probably Docksy, if I'm going to be honest. It was really cold, but it looked nice, looked right for what we were doing.
So what was the first thing shot?
Oh, the bookcase in the library, and basically the beginning of the story, introducing the character Stan and introducing me as well.
The effect of Henry fading away, I think worked quite well. We were a bit worried about whether this would work. So we shot 2 versions of the talking scene. One where I walk in, he's already in the seat, and one where he fades in. Luckily the faded in actually works, and I'm really happy with it. It's just a simple cross dissolve. It's just fading in. We didn't want something too complicated, because if you make it too complicated, it's just going to look cheap and terrible.
The library shoot was probably not my favourite because I felt we could have perhaps showed a bit more of it. But also we always had to contend with some of the idiots in there as well. So we do my dialogue scenes, then we have to stop because we had some noisy idiots right next to us. So it's frustrating. Probably a lot of stop-starting compared to the other locations we use. But when you look at it, it looks not bad. And to be honest, my favourite bit of the library is the end scene, the after-credit scene.
So something bad's about to happen. The spirit world is about to enter the living world.
The reshoot for the library was needed. Frustrating as it was, we could have, but we had to do it. It was a lot better. It looked a lot better, and Adam wasn't as fuzzy as he was on the last one.
So this is the part where you do your cool quest-like speech?
With the directing of the framing, I was really keen to make sure it wasn't just constant centre shots. I wanted scenes of him at the side like this and there, because I think it looks boring if you do a cut of a shot here and then another one of Henry, because it's just going to look dull and boring. I made sure that I wanted to get a bit of vibrant out of it, and I wanted it to look dark. I really wanted the shots to look dark, because if you think about it, it's quite a grim story. He's just been told he's dead. So I wanted it to look dark, and I think we succeeded in it.
What do you remember here then?
See, nice. When I catch up with you, well, I think we had camera problems there when we originally started, so we banded it on one day, but we managed to get it sorted out on the other day, and for me, I think it went pretty alright. I think some of it could have been improved, perhaps in looking back in hindsight, but overall I think it works. I especially love the running scene out of the bridge for a long, like, flashback of this person running away that we're not going to reveal for you who it is. Also, speech, the dialogue scene between us went okay. Perhaps the one thing we could have done better was aging the poster of Dave. It's probably too properly placed right there, and I happen to be sitting right next to it. Could have been perhaps better thought out, but who cares? We can't change it now. We filmed it. Let's move on.
Well, I'm really hoping that you're going to, when people see Lost Souls, I'm hoping that they're really going to get a feel of Stan and Henry and begin to like them, because we're going to be going on a journey with them in 2 and 3. And this Lost Souls 1 is really an introduction to the characters, who they are, and that. And then 2 and 3 is going to be action-packed.
Well, first we've got to talk about the audio drama, the in-between. This will take place virtually about a couple of minutes after it. We'll definitely meet another character in it. We'll also introduce stuff that will be in the second story, and also it will lead directly on to the second story, where hopefully we'll be going to Cardiff and filming some of the, roughly, majority of the scenes will be filmed there for the second one.
I'm hoping that we're going to see more of Henry, just to know who he is, because all we know is he's a soldier, but who exactly is he and why is he there? And I'm hoping that we know a bit more about Stan, because a bit more of the background. We know that he liked someone, but who was she?
What can I say? It's basically Stan and Henry are on the run. We will have a costume change, and it will be explained why ghosts are changing their clothes. It will be plausible as well. Then that will lead. We'll have someone introduced into this story right at the end, which is linked to my character. Well, who I play, and there's someone who's very, very much linked to Stan. Then that will lead directly into the third one.
I'm really hoping the relationship between Stan and Henry develops. I'm hoping that it's up and down. I don't want it to be straight. I hope there's a bit of them falling out or something.
So like them, not to be too friendly, like them to be a bit spiky.
Yes. I hope that they, because if I'm honest, in Lost Souls 1 I think that Stan becomes a bit too trustworthy of him, and I'm hoping that there's a bit of tension and something goes wrong and they argue a bit, and that's what I'm hoping
Is
for.
there possibly like to see a darker side of both of them, or
Yes,
Henry?
I'd love to see a darker side of both the characters.
I know what the last line's going to be already. I know where it's going to take place. That's all I can say.